landing chain is just not working, even though I don't really want to. In full honesty, there hasn't been anybody using this. There's literally been 0 people on the website. Let me get you guys set up here. As you can see, it's raining outside, and it is raining pretty bad. Just started, but today is a special day. Today, August 26th, we went live last night, quonotes.com. Currently, what I am working on is fixing the landing page, because it is basically the landing page and the nav bar are unusable on a mobile screen. So I'm gonna try and do a quick fix for that, so it's at least like usable in some capacity. It might not look that good, but it'll at least work, because what I'm planning right now is to get approved to put flyers up around my university's campus, so that we can get some more test users. And the sign-up sheet is on quonotes.com if you go there and you're interested in signing up. So that's what I'm working on. It's raining really bad. It's nice though. It's really, really calming to see so much rain. But I'm working also, the other hard part is the landing page is one of the things that we didn't change over to Tailwind yet. So it's still using custom CSS. So that's probably what's going to take a good bit. Hopefully not too long. I'm planning to go to the gym in about 2 hours. And hopefully I can finish this in those 2 hours. It's always tools that are probably like the most important that end up being ones that I just like don't want to deal with. In this case, it's GitHub. And I will say GitHub for the longest time has seemed just like nasty and confusing, but now that I'm like basically forced, like I'm in the situation where I have to know how to use GitHub so that we can run everything efficiently, it's honestly not that bad. It really isn't that bad. I haven't really gotten into the nastiness of GitHub. I'm not GitHub. Git. Replace every time I've said GitHub with GitHub. But I haven't really gotten to the nastiness of Git, as can be, as you can see from the fact that I called it GitHub instead of calling it Git. So I'm sorry. But yeah, I didn't actually get actions working last week. My fault. That's my bad. I didn't follow the instructions properly, but it should be working now. I'm watching it get added, and it should be good. And hopefully this will work. If there are any problems, I need to fix those today, if any come up before I head out to the gym. But the real reasoning for this is so that we can do quick fixes, because we're going to need quick fixes a lot in the next few weeks. Because if a bug comes up, if a problem happens, if somebody finds that something is broken, then we need to be able to send out a patch for it as soon as possible. The biggest one that we need to fix now is the fact that it looks awful and is unusable on mobile. It's not something that we need to, spend a lot of effort and time into to make it look completely pretty right now, but the focus should be, like, you can actually understand what's going on a mobile size screen. Because if, let's say, for example, we have flyers up and somebody sees a flyer, then they're going to, maybe they'll just pull it up on their phone to check it out. And if they can't even read the landing screen, why would they stay around to sign up? That's the main point now, because the tool is definitely something that people would be using on a full desktop or laptop screen. So as long as it's readable and somewhat usable on mobile is all we need right now, which is what I went ahead and did. It took me maybe like 20 minutes, 30 minutes to do, and now I just gotta wait for actions to go through. It looks like it just finished, so let's see if this is going to work. If I reload the website, that's not bad. That is not bad. Not bad at all. Today's Wednesday. I didn't do anything Tuesday or Monday. I don't remember when the last time I did something was, but I have been working. I got a little bit of work done yesterday. Not too much, but a little bit. I have a good bit of things to try and get done today. So specifically, this is the plan here. I wrote a lot of them down. So what this is my list of broken things from today's date, the 28th, and really what I did was I just went on to the live website, which again is live at quonotes.com. and I just tried to break things. I did things that I knew I wasn't supposed to, and just tried to make it not work. And every time something broke, I noted it down so that I can go back and try and find a way to fix it. And that's what I'm gonna take a look at. There isn't too much. A lot of this, because luckily there isn't that many features, so there's not that much to actually break right now. But a lot of it has to do with UI elements that are broken or are breaking and are things that I need to fix. It's like 100 degrees outside. It's incredibly hot. So, what that means is my plan is going to be to print out the flyers probably sometime later when it gets cooler, and then go and hang them up when the crowds go away and everybody goes home after classes finish. So, that is what I will do a bit later this evening. That's the plan. I'm gonna eat now. I will tell you something. It is definitely hot out there. I didn't even step out there for that long. My school has delivery robots, and I literally only walked out there to like open the top and then get the lunch out. It's hot. It is hot outside. So, good thing I don't really have to go out today, but I do have class in an hour. And then after class is done, I am going to go to the gym. And then after that, probably find some dinner. I don't know what time it'll be at that point. And then hopefully around then I'll have some time to finish up all this work, and then also go to get everything printed out and hung up that I need to do. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so I'm realizing now, as soon as I started to get to work, well, a little bit of work, that I have like homework that I actually have to do now. I can't just like sit down and work on this all day, every day. I have like other obligations with classes and everything else that I have to actually genuinely worry about because, yeah. So far, it doesn't seem too bad, though. There's a couple things that I have to get done tonight, and it's already creeping up on the time. I want to say it's close to 7, and I was right. It is 7:10, so close to 7. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some homework done, and I'll probably go print out the flyers that I got approved and hang those up still. That is the plan to do tonight. But I do need to get some work done, and it's already getting pretty late into the evening, so I was able to do some stuff today. I worked on the UI, and then I also got a good bit of work done in terms of the list of broken things that I found. A few more of those things I'm going to work on fixing tomorrow, but I can go ahead and send this code out so it's a little bit better for when the posters do go up. But as far as I can tell, there hasn't been any like game shattering problems. There is a small issue though that I just figured out that it's probably going to be something that'll take me a good bit to figure and solve. And it looks like the metadata filtering for when we make a call to the Pinecone database through LangChain is just not working correctly for some reason. It could be me not understanding what this metadata filtering actually means, but my assumption was that when you use it, it will only return files that have metadata that matches the filters that you gave it. But even though those are being passed, and I checked, it is being passed properly. I used logs so that I could see exactly what collections and ownership is being passed through the metadata, but right now it's looking as though the filtering just isn't going properly. So I'm able to get information about documents that I didn't upload and documents that aren't inside of the collection that I'm asking questions in. Which is kind of strange, kind of frustrating. So I need to figure out why that's happening. It is something that I'm going to look at getting solved hopefully tomorrow, since we will be, having the flyers go out across campus. It'll start to get a bit annoying if this thing is pulling requests from everybody's documents, because it seems like right now it might be doing that for like flashcard creation as well. And the only reason it's been getting flashcard creation right thus far has been because it's just taking the most recently uploaded notes and then making flashcards from that. Either that's what's happening, or for some reason the flashcard creation is working properly with the metadata filtering and the chat feature just isn't. Which, if that's the case, that would be wonderful, and this would probably be really easy to solve. But if that isn't the case, and both of them aren't working, then I'm gonna be in for a treat when I get back to this. But for now, I'm going to push this code and get some work done. So honestly, didn't take me as long as I thought it would to get the homework that I had to do tonight done. It was just a little bit of reading, so it wasn't too bad. I went immediately back because I kind of would like to fix this issue that's going on with the chat today, since I'm putting the flyers up tonight. As soon as I fix this problem, I'm going to go and put the flyers up. I would like to have it fixed before then. So I try to fix. I compared. So I was checking things out, and when I went back and I looked at how the flashcards are being generated, those are in fact being generated correctly with the metadata. And I also compared the code, and what I realized was that when I finally figured out the first time how to make the metadata filtering work, I never went back and actually fixed it in the chat function. So I just went back and changed it so that now it's the exact same as the flashcard one. So I'm going to deploy all of that code to Firebase functions and then see if it hopefully works. And if it doesn't work on the chat, that means that it's not working in the flashcards, which is going to lead to a much bigger issue. So I'm hoping that this solves the problem. And we are deploying, so let's see how that goes. Okay, well, unfortunately, I can't show this because it involves some personal identifying information, I think would be the best way to say it. I don't know if that's the right way to say that, but it involves some personal information from one of the people that we had testing before the beta release. So one of the team members uploaded their resume, and I was able to ask questions previously, which was the issue. I was able to ask questions that this other user uploaded and get responses of that user's resume. So I just went ahead and did a test, asked if it knew who that person was, and it says that it does not. So that means it no longer has access to other people's notes, which means that metadata filtering is now working on the chat. I am going to get those flyers hung up. This is going to be a blast. Ignore how bad my hair looks right now. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. It was a day. A lot of walking through the rain, a lot of walking through the heat. I didn't honestly do too much today. There's a few things that I do want to do and a few things that I want to get researched. Yeah, so last night I was able to get the flyers up. I hung 7, I think, because all of the other spots were full. There's a few small changes I might make, like I might add some more information on the landing screen to like more accurately explain what's going on with everything. But if I do that, it'll likely be this weekend or sometime later tomorrow if I end up working tomorrow, which I probably won't. I did a good bit this week. Tomorrow the plan is to have a team meeting, sometime in the evening. I need to get that squared away in a time set so that we can agree to all be available. So I'm probably going to send that message in a second, and we'll have a little meeting tomorrow. Alrighty. So it is Friday afternoon, kind of. We're closing in on about 1:30, almost 2. I finished my one class for today. This week has been a little bit of an interesting week. It's been a balancing act between sending out quick fixes and figuring out what type of things that I could improve on, as well as trying to find new ways to get more users. And it's also been a mix of going to all of my classes because it's the first week of class. So I only skipped one class this week, so that is honestly a new record for me. Some things that I've been considering is, although it's nice to have the protection where we have a waitlist and we can choose who is, added to the beta test, it kind of it gives us this limitation, where now there's this extra hoop that people have to jump through for something they don't know if they want to use, and there might just not be enough information about it, or maybe it's just not something that people are willing to, in its current state, willing to go through that to try out, especially just random people. So what I'm thinking about doing is adding a bit more of a description and a welcome to the landing page. I might do that today, honestly, just to get it out there before the weekend. Explaining a bit better what exactly you would be signing up for if you signed up for the beta test, because literally the landing page just has a little phrase that's animated and then like the sign up link. So I'm gonna add that. And another thing that I've been thinking is that switching over to an open beta is probably going to be a very solid move for us. But the thing that's holding me back from that is I want to make sure that we have some kind of protections in case there is any errors that go out in the code that we don't see, or anything just goes wrong. I want to make sure that we have that protection. So I really want to get things squared away and figured out with the rest of my team before I start to commit to an open beta. And so for now, it's going to be more of a closed one. Hopefully, this will only go on for another week, and then we'll open it on week 3. But it'll honestly depend how long it takes us to get through the paperwork that we're planning to discuss tonight at our meeting that is in about 6.5 hours. It really is interesting. There's definitely a very big difference between making a project, doing a project, and getting it to this point, right? Because I've been able to do that, but there's definitely been a consistency, and it's honestly been getting better. But there's very clearly an issue of if I want stuff to get done from other people on the team, then it's increasingly becoming I have to tell them exactly what they need to do. Which isn't what I was expecting, because that kind of puts me in this role of managing. And another issue with that, besides the fact that I wasn't expecting to be managing the application, is also something which is that you can't lead from a foxhole, if that makes sense. So when you're down there, when you're in the trenches of trying to make this specifically, when I'm down here, I'm sending out bug fixes every day, working on the code, trying to figure out what I need to fix, trying to figure out how to get more users, all of that stuff. It is a lot more difficult for me to take a step back, look at the entire thing, and figure out, okay, how can I assign tasks? Which means if I want to have a solid manager type role over the rest of the team, so that I can give them exact tasks to do each week and know that people will be working, it means I'm gonna have to take a step back from a few of the things that I've been working on, which is a little difficult for me, because when I find a problem, it's just I want to fix the problem instantly, which is bad for that reason, and it's also bad for the reason of I will just get locked in, throw everything else out the window, and just focus on that for however many hours it takes me to fix it. And it's oftentimes difficult for me to start something and then put it down midway through. I usually end up having to just keep going with it unless I either fix it or I get to a point where I know I can't solve it. So that's what makes it a little difficult. What I'm thinking about doing, which hopefully will help at the meeting today to bring up, is having solidified hours that each of us are agreeing to put in per week. And it's not really I'm going to require people to be we need to do 20 hours, we need to do 15 hours type of thing, although that would be good. I understand that all of us have different stuff that we have going on, and it's more so about knowing what the availability is, because if I know how much time people can put in each week and each month, then I can better give them tasks and have realistic expectations of when that's going to get done. And I don't have to worry about a few things that happened over the summer where I would assign some tasks and then I'd be ready for those tasks to be done, but now I'm still waiting for those things to finish, and I just ended up doing most of them by myself anyways. So when you have situations like this where you have a team and the team struggle sometimes with coming together and getting stuff done, it's not necessarily the team's fault. It is, in a lot of cases, the fault of leadership, and in this situation, we don't have leadership. So I have to do that. I have to do that, even though I don't really want to. But if I want this to work, that's what I've got to do. So yeah, just a little bit of a rant. But in other news, a big problem that I've found from this first week is again the issue of marketing, of getting out there to new users, which made me realize, and I think I've already talked about this, but I need to add manual flashcard creation so that people can just make flashcards on their own and not have to only do flashcard generation. I think having that, as simple as it will be to add and as simple of a tool that it is, will make the entire thing a bit more like consistently usable, if that makes sense. We might have a better luck with overall retention and coming back, because if we are offering this beta test that is free to university students, then they'll come back to it, especially if it's like something that they know the people that are making it, because I know for a fact, at least I think I know for a fact, that many people have a lot of complaints about things like Quizlet. So having something like this where they can talk directly and complain directly to us, to the people that are making it, and we're real people, then I think we would have a solid, we do pretty well, I think, with retaining users and stuff like that, which is also another thing that I kind of did a little bit of research on, which was measuring cohort retention, which is basically users that join at a certain time frame and seeing how long those users from a certain time frame stay over other time frames. So we're gonna have to start measuring that once we start getting actual users. But yeah, I don't think I actually said it yet, but the metrics for right now is that we have 3. On day 5, we have 3 new users, and I don't think any of them have logged in yet, so, but that's better than 0. It is later in the day. It's about 7:30, so I have about 30 minutes before the team meeting. And honestly, you will see how it goes. And I have written down a list of things for us to go over and whatnot. Sort of like an agenda of topics that I want us to cover and get set straight. And yeah, hopefully this will be good. Hopefully things will go well. And yeah. Howdy, team.
Howdy. 2000.
I mean, like, it's green. How much of it is green? The information about...
I've been highlighting stuff.
Yeah, I forgot to highlight shit. So our registered office address is, I think, what it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, that was what I need to clarify. As designated by, I don't know, we'll put like a voting or something there.
Okay, don't worry about the hat. My hair is all messed up. My plan is to get a haircut this weekend, either tomorrow or Sunday. But honestly, really good meeting, really productive. Overall, great. We discussed a lot of stuff. We got a lot of business figured out. We went through paperwork, got a few corrections done. And honestly, it feels like things are really getting back on track with the meeting, which is great. We set up consistent meetings, and we talked about a whole lot of stuff, and everything it's going well. It's getting put together a lot more. So the biggest thing that's going to happen this weekend, one of the partners, one of the teammates, he is going to he's going to update the landing page so it has more descriptive information on what exactly QuoteNotes is, what it can do, what features it has, and most importantly, he's going to add a link to the community Discord that we've created so that people can also join there if they have any more questions or if they're interested in just hanging out and being a part of the community, because a really big thing that we want to focus with QuoteNotes is that this is going to be very community oriented, that we're going to care a lot about, that we do care a lot about what the users want, what the users feel, because that's how studying works. Studying it's not necessarily the same for everybody. And there's large groups of people that feel certain ways about studying and certain things work for them over others. And so it's really important to get feedback, especially in this situation, of what people want. So we want to make sure that we're creating a really good community. And we're going to start that by putting the link just up in the landing page. So hopefully we don't regret that, and we have everything set up for moderation. But yeah, so that's going to happen this weekend. Along with that, I am going to add manual flashcard creation. I'm predicting I can get it done in a day. Maybe it'll take me 2, but it will be done by Tuesday. This weekend's a 3-day weekend, so we have Monday off. So hopefully by Tuesday, when everything comes back, it will be finished, is what I'm thinking I'll be able to do. And then, depending on the time that I have left, I'm also going to take a look at doing conversions between different websites, because I know a lot of websites do have that. We can paste the link to a flashcard set from someplace else and import it here. I'm going to take a look at seeing if I can figure out how to do that. If that's something that's possible, that could also help us get users. But yeah, it's really, these next few weeks are going to be about getting as many people as we can to join this community, to sign up for the wait list, and to start using it, because we need to get metrics, because I don't want us to lock in on making any features unless we know people want those features. So we need to get people to start using it and tell us what type of stuff that they want, what type of things they don't like, and what type of stuff needs to get fixed. So that's what's going to be happening this weekend. We're going to have some revisions of the paperwork that we have. That's going to go through, and we also are I'm going to start getting things locked in for the Instagram and the TikTok. Either posts will start going out next week or the week after. Depends on how long it takes me to get the flashcards set up. In full honesty, there hasn't been anybody using this. There's literally been 0 people on the website, and that's honestly okay. I really wanted this first week to just see how it is while it's live. I was assuming, because in past experiences hosting websites on AWS servers and stuff like that, we get used to, just getting swamped with like random Russian bots that are just poking at the network, which honestly isn't really happening here, which is why we had all these hoops to jump through, so that it's actual people that are interested in using it that are signing up. But it's created more of an issue of there's nobody using it. So we're going to take a look this next week at pushing out and getting as many people as we can interested in signing up for the waitlist. And we will see. But this first week, and maybe next week, or at least half of it, will probably still be focused on just people that we have personal connections to, just to double check and make sure that there's no errors that are going through, no infinite loops that are running, just because you don't want to mess up something like that. You don't want to get it all funky. But yeah, it's been an interesting week. Not much happened, but it still felt very educational, if that makes sense. But I'll see you next week.